the battle of the top two. League leaders Arsenal, 5 points ahead of Manchester City. They've got to go to the Etihad now and pick up their first win since 2015, if I'm not mistaken, away from home. It's all or nothing, is it, for Arsenal at the Etihad?
Well, they're 5 points clear, Manish, at the top of the league, so it's still not all doom and gloom. But
with the games in hand that City have got, they've got two.
There's a club breathing heavily down their neck, and that's Manchester City, really heavily. And it seems to be telling on these Arsenal players, and of course the manager as well. They dropped 6 points in the last 3 games. Being winning positions as well is criminal at this time of the stage of the season. But yeah, people will say, it's the first time they're challenging for the league, but Man City have been there before. Man City are just sort of steamrolling teams at the minute. They've got the bit between their teeth. They'll be relishing Wednesday night. You can imagine Pep's team talk before the game.
Yeah,
we won this game against Arsenal. We get the title back. It's a huge game.
Is the initiative now with City?
Well, I think so. I really do. I think that they've shown it over the years. The job that Pep's done, not just this season, but over 6-7 seasons. He's rejuvenated the team. Different players brought on. Grealish, for example. Me and Tim both work with at Aston Villa. He's had a phenomenal season. Haaland, maybe that final piece of the jigsaw. We're talking maybe about the treble.
Yeah.
The FA Cup, the Champions League and the Premier League. And maybe Pep might go off to the hill with a cigar on perhaps at the end of that, because the job he's done at that football club is just so impressive. And
it's going to be interesting about how Arsenal go about their business, Tim, because there's talk of this young squad suffering from nerves against Southampton. But when, the footballing world are watching as to what they're going to do next in Manchester, surely that only ramps up the pressure.
Yeah, I don't think it's nerves. I really don't. I just think they've had periods during the season, at the front end of the season as well. You drop points. That's what you do in this Premier League. It's still in their hands. It's still in Man City's hands as well. So that's what makes it so intriguing. Listen, I'd rather be ahead than behind at this stage, but when I look over my shoulder, the one team I don't want chasing me is Man City.
Well, especially in the form they're in right now.
Oh, no, and they've done it. They've been there course and distance. They've done it before. So the smart money's on Man City, but I wouldn't rule Arsenal out. I think they've done a brilliant job. I think they've got an outstanding manager, and they've got the second youngest side in the Premier League. Next year it'll be the youngest, because Southampton won't be in it.
Because if there is any one manager who knows Pep more than most, is Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, well, they know each other inside out.
Yeah, of course.
They worked, 3 years at the Etihad together. It'll just be an amazing contest, to be honest. I mean, what way does Arteta approach Wednesday night? Does he go, this is literally a cup final for the Premier League. If we can go to the Etihad and win the game, I mean, they've been there this season already, and the cup had lost 1-0, so it was a close game, it was a tight game. But this is, I don't know. They're expected to beat Southampton, they didn't. They're expected to beat West Ham, and the two up, they didn't. People think Wednesday night, they're not expected to go to the Etihad and win, but Arteta will have the opposite message. Let's go and show to everyone we're good enough to go there. Yeah. That's why we can be champions. It's a real big game.
Yeah.
Even the City game we played the other week, I thought Arsenal way better than them. That's how I see them at the moment. So hopefully, we can even take a lot of positives from this game, because they're the best team in this league at this moment in time.
And the run that Arsenal have got, Lee, we talked to me before the game, but after City, they got Chelsea, they got Newcastle, they got Brighton. And I'm not trying to make your evening any worse, but the last Arsenal win at the Etihad was a long time ago. I mean, you were nearly playing; it was 8 years ago.
Yeah, but the thing is, all those fixtures were set last June. They knew who they had to play. Yeah. They've had a brilliant season so far. You can't get away with not playing anybody. You have to play everybody twice. Yeah. So there's parts of the season where you have an easy run and they pick points up then. This is the tough bit now, and this is how you win a title.
Is your belief wavering, though, now after that tonight, after 3 consecutive games? Be honest.
Oh, no, yeah, absolutely. If you were a betting person, which I'm not, you would say it's City's title all day long. But they've still got that game on Wednesday. And this team, if they can get over the emotional tiredness, the physical tiredness won't bother you at this time in the season. You're tired from Christmas onwards, but the emotional side of it, they can get over that, they can beat City. We know that. We know they've got the ability. But you would expect City to have a little bit too much for him. Yeah. But listen, we didn't expect that tonight, did we?
Yeah, and that's probably the difference, isn't it, between a point and losing the game, though, isn't it? Which we shall see, because I know you're going to be there on Wednesday night, Lee. Yeah, and in terms then of the title run, and when it comes to Arsenal and Manchester City fixtures, this is what it looks like. We know that they meet on Wednesday, but look at those games that Manchester City still have to play. Semi-finals against Real Madrid. They could have a Champions League final and an FA Cup final. 13 games potentially, and Arsenal just have those 7 games. Very quickly, Lee, will that go in Arsenal's favour, the fewer games?
I'm just going to say it's not over yet. That's all I'm going to say, because there's some tricky games there and a lot of games for City. But Wednesday is pivotal, to say the least. Yeah. But I think there's going to be another couple of twists.
Yeah.
I'd rather not give any predictions. They've been terribly wrong from the start to near the end of the season. I haven't got nothing right yet, so certainly my predictions have been very poor.
Well, there we go. It has been a hell of a night at the Emirates, and it should be a cracker as well at the Etihad Wednesday. See you then.
2 decades without winning the Premier League. They have the fire. And every player knows it will be in history, like when we won the first Premier League.
Staggering! Just staggering!
What you need to find, what is it?
Belief.
I'm not concerned at all. There's no doubt about that.
It's a brilliant finish!
More belief that you can win the league.
I have more belief in my players.
Until the end of the season, we'll defend the crown.
We need to focus. We have to give more.
Keep winning games.
But still, we are there.
Play as well as we can.
And we will see what happens.